adultery,
They're being
and they
disrespectful.
want to know if it's adultery. You know, it's subjective. It depends on what it is. They're saying it depends on the intentions behind what they text. But yes, could be read that way. So it comes back to, does it rub you off the wrong way? If it rubs you off the wrong way, then you definitely want to communicate that, because if you don't communicate that, it's still going to be eating you up inside.
Yes.
And
because that can definitely become an insecurity for you.
Yeah.
And you just have to address it.
Yeah.
Don't let it slide.
Yes, because now you're going to become Inspector CIA,
Oh my
FBI
God.
in your own house.
And that's not good. Inspector Gadgets.
Yeah, you're gonna miss out on life and love if you live your life that way.
Yeah.
If you every time you have to look over your shoulder, that's not a fun way to live. So if it's just a one-off or something consistent, and you notice that you've been going into his or her text message to look, because that's what.
Does texting someone else count as adultery?
Does texting someone else count as adultery? What do you think of it?
If it's a text that you're hiding. Okay, I think you already answered the question yourself. If that text is inappropriate.
That's the funny thing with these questions. All right, a lot of these questions, you can tell that this person already know what answers they
They're
want.
looking for some kind of validation.
Right.
Yeah.
But the answers is never straightforward too for us, because we want to dig in a little deeper on what the possibilities are, right? But on surface value, you're right. Does texting someone else count as adultery? No. If you're hiding it, right, and it's something that you wouldn't want your significant other to see, and this is potentially romantic in nature, because I could be texting other people. See, start to unpack
could
it
be
now.
friends. I mean,
Yes.
you know, there's nothing wrong with texting other people.
I could be texting I wanted to say sister, but sister,
Right.
And it's something that I don't want to bother you with. Maybe you're not in good terms with my sister. I may just excuse you from seeing all that, right? So I don't want you to see it, because maybe you're my sister in a place right now that,
some funk
right now, right? So I'm not coming back in the evening and say, "Oh, I actually text my sister today." I may not do that, because I don't want the extra that comes with it, right?
Drama.
So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the nature of the text messages is romantic in nature.
Like sexting.
Maybe not all the way sexting. Sometimes it could be something as simple as "Hey, beautiful."
Wow.
That's not sexting.
Well,
right?
if you're calling somebody else "Hey, beautiful" and it's romantic,
no,
okay.
It's not romantic. Hey, darling. It doesn't have to be romantic. But if you wouldn't want your wife to see it, it's the point I'm making.
Okay.
Like, let's say you mean no harm.
If your wife already knows you call everybody darling,
right,
and she's okay with it, she's not gonna suspect. You won't even hide it.
Oh, by the way, just because she knows you call everybody darling face to face, doesn't mean she expects you to be texting that.
True.
Okay.
True, but she might be like, oh, he calls everyone darling anyway. That's the way they grew up in their house.
Certain type of girls will do that, or ladies will do that. Certain type of girls will know that you call everybody darling. When she reads it, it's still gonna rub her off the wrong way.
Like, okay, who's this that you're calling?
Yeah, like what's all that?
What's wrong with you?
What's all that?
Like, why? That's so weird.
That's how you go around calling her. That would be the first time she will now tell you that actually she did not like it.
Yes, you're right.
These things takes a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
Wisdom means it's not just knowledge. Just because you know you read books doesn't mean you have wisdom. You're able to think beyond any moment in time, think a little deeper into the different possibilities of what could be going through not just your mind. Of course, you got to start with your mind, because if you don't know how to read your own mind, how can you read other people, right? So, but not just your mind, but also other people's mind. See, text in general are extremely powerful, because you can look at the same sentence and you can play out 50 different movies.
It's true.
This is the part that people need to understand about text messages. This is why people need to be careful about text messaging, just in general, okay? We're not just talking about adultery. Adultery means adultery by definition means somebody engaged with another person romantically outside of their marriage. That's what it means, okay? It could be text, it could be email, whatever. That's what it means, okay? But text messaging by itself is a lot more dangerous, even beyond adultery.
You're leaving evidence everywhere. Oh, man.
Because
people can even use it to rope you. That's another thing. You might not have the intention of being romantic with this person, but you're just the type of person that's just overly too free, and you just send "Hey beautiful" to a girl that thinks, why is he sliding in my DM and calling me beautiful? You must be up to something.
No, even the girl that you're saying that to
That's
can
what
read
I'm
it that way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The girl is reading it that way, and she's saving it as evidence, and she's going to use it against you in the future.
Yep.
So you got to be smart with these things. You can't,
So the person that's asking this, I'm guessing that they have experienced, they've seen that their significant other is texting other people, and they are getting ready to accuse that person of adultery, and they want to know if it's adultery. It's subjective. It depends on what it is. They're saying it depends on the intentions behind what they text. But yes, could be read that way. So it comes back to, does it rub you off the wrong way? If it rubs you off the wrong way, then you definitely want to communicate that, because if you don't communicate that, it's still going to be eating you up inside.
Yes.
And
because that can definitely become an insecurity for you.
Yeah.
And you just have to address it.
Yeah.
Don't let it slide.
Yes, because now you're going to become Inspector CIA,
oh my
FBI
God.
in your own house.
And that's not good. Inspector Gadgets.
Yeah, you're gonna miss out on life and love if you live your life that way. If you every time you have to look over your shoulder, that's not a fun way to live. So if it's just a one-off or something consistent, and you notice that you've been going into his or her text message to look, because that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be obsessed with looking in that person's email, text messages all the time to find out if you gotcha. Maybe something that will say, we had such a good time last night. Something like that. You're looking for that. You're obsessed with looking for that.
And then you see the got you, and then what's next?
See, what you're looking for is not going to solve your problem.
Yeah, it's not.
Right?
It's not
the precise thing you're looking for is still not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
What you're looking for, what you should be looking for, is what's going to solve the problem.
Yes.
Like, how did we get here? Why is he texting? Why am I feeling this way? Okay, I just don't appreciate it. It makes me feel some type of way. I don't like it when you send text messages like saying. Now, the person, if their intentions are pure or not pure, they are probably going to get defensive. It doesn't matter if it's pure or not. They're going to get defensive, or they're going to be like, why are you checking my phone? Why? It's going to be all those different things. So it's going to be a tough conversation to have.
It is.
It's not going to be easy. It's easier said than done, but it's a conversation that must be had.
Someone that cares about you, they're gonna try and reason with you.
No. They may care about you.
Maybe they might.
No, they will eventually, but in the initial reaction, it's not gonna be that. Let's be real.
Easy.
Yeah, it's not gonna be an easy conversation, because the last thing they want to do is disappoint you. If they
Hopefully,
right?
Yes.
Right? If they care. Now, if they don't care at all, they still don't want to. Remember, they were trying to hide it for a reason. They still don't want to say yes. Most people are not gonna say yes. I was doing it. What are you gonna do about it? That's not how most people. Except if they
want out of the relationship.
Very few people will be in that space. So let's say even remember what we talked about, people that want to have their cake and eat it too. They want out, but not really, because there's a lot of time. It's not that easy to just move on from a relationship, right? So don't expect that they're just gonna be like, I'm sorry. No, that's probably not how it's going to play out. What's going to play out is full-blown denial, okay? And so how do you explain this? A lot of patience until eventually, it may not even be in the first encounter, but the point I'm making is that it's not going to be an easy conversation, but this is one of those things that you have to go through to get to the solution that you should be looking for, which is not to become CIA and FBI in your own house, which is to clear it up and see where that's coming from. Right. So let's say they even never admit it, because a lot of gentlemen will probably not even admit ever. At least you put them in a position where they understand that you don't appreciate that, and that's really what you want to convey. I don't appreciate that, and Is it possible they will continue the conversation? Yes, it's possible. Are you ever going to completely find out that they actually stopped? This is one of those battles that you have to leave to God. Okay? You should watch their behavior over time. If people only have so much time in a day, okay?
Right.
If they're spending a lot of time with you and the family and all this kind of stuff, you probably shouldn't worry about it. If it's a situation where they stay out all night and all that kind of then your issue is bigger than just one text message. Okay? But I will say it depends on so many things that if you're going through this, you may want to book a coaching session. It's deep. But the truth answer is that just a text message does not equal to adultery. Intentions could be clean. Doesn't mean it couldn't rub you up the wrong way. You can still say, I don't appreciate this kind of text message to people that you could be potentially romantically involved in.
Right.
You could still, and it's a conversation that's very hard to have, and you should have it regardless.